Hey, so I'm in my second home, my vacation house, and it's a nice Danish spring, I guess. 10, 12 degrees. I'm sitting in my patio, as you might notice, and I am watching different lists that people have sent to me. So the first one here is from Ashley, and Ashley writes that, what was it? It's going to a tournament. Which one was it? Just a sec, I'll find it for you. Where did I put it? There we go. Roll call. Roll call in the UK. Right. He wrote a nice email where he sent me also like a bunch of historical stuff. I'm sorry, I don't really do that here on this channel that much. So what I'm mainly going to do is talk you through his lists. For roll call, they're having a little bit of an interesting one where you start with a 750 point and then you build up to a 1250 point list. Which, by the way, is the same that we're doing for the next tournament here in Denmark, which is Zealand Open. You also start with the 750 and then build up. So let's go and see what you might do with that, shall we? Let's go. Here we go. So this is mostly a thematic list, but well, since he sent it to me, I'm going to give him competitive advice, Ashley. Um, so it's 12 order dice at 749. I like 12 order dice. It's a lot of order dice. It really is. Be careful to don't go overboard, like spamming MSU, spamming order dice, but 12 order dice is pretty good for 750, I think. I think you should be between 10 and 12, maybe. So a second lieutenant. Oh, this is the British airlanding platoon. All of his stuff has this theme of being the airlanding platoon for Market Garden. Um, so 35 point for an inexperienced lieutenant. I don't think this is particularly thematic though, because I think the lieutenants were actually pretty good. And then veteran air landing rifle units. So 8-man units. I think these could easily be cut down to 7-man units. 8-man units are not especially that they're not assaulters because they don't have that many tough fighters. They have an NCO and one guy with a submachine gun, so they're not assault units. And as such, I think they're better skirmishers. So 7-man units might actually be cut you down a little bit, save you a few points. You could spend them on something else. Free forward artillery observer, regular, like it, with an extra man. Another air landing section here. Again, 8-man unit. Again, I think they could be 7. And then an air landing scout section. I like this one. So they have scouts as their special rule, which I guess would mean that they forward deploy. Let's just check. Yeah, they forward deploy, which is brilliant. Which is brilliant. That means that you're pretty likely to dominate that forward deployment of the game, right? 5 veterans with submachine guns. They're basically like the Soviet scouts, which are really good. So I like this. And this is its own little separate slot, so you don't actually use up infantry shots to take this. I like it. Then we have a medium mortar team, inexperienced. Again, maybe not thematic, but very competitive. Double sniper team regulars. Wow, yeah. Yeah, you're going to dominate that forward deployment, aren't you? Vengeance. I like Vengeance for this platoon, but you do have some inexperienced dudes scattered around, so they are not going to benefit from it, but all the rest of you guys are. Light howitzer. So that is not the 25 pounder, it's the M1A1, which is a little bit less expensive. So 45 points. I would go with the 25 pounder, but then I would not be historical then, I guess. So this is a thematic pick, but one that actually works. I don't know if you can take a spotter for this one, but if you can, I think you should, because then you would completely dominate the forward deployment. Double British airborne recce jeeps, like those. Like them, like them, like them. They are really good. They are worth every penny. I don't think they need to be a veteran though. Regular will do it, and that's 45 points each. So, nice little platoon here for Ashley. Now, his expanded platoon is 1250. Again, British airlanding platoon, 20 order dice. Again, that's very, very high, but I guess that's what happens when you don't actually bring any tanks, because airlanding, right? So, inexperienced second lieutenant. Again, we have these airlanding rifle sections here. Again, I think they easily could be 7-man units. Medic, not worth it. Conventional wisdom says it's not worth it. It's definitely not worth it buying extra infantry, because as a medic, he's not allowed to shoot, I think. So don't. Free forward artillery observer, like that. Another forward observer. I don't think this is worth it, but you are going to have to spend your points somewhere, and spending it on a single air landing platoon is difficult, so okay. Again, air landings, so that's 4 of those, like it. Piat team, double Piat team. Wow, that's a lot of Piats. Well, you don't have anything else to deal with tanks, so yeah, you're going to need them. Scouts again, love those. Double medium mortar. I think I think you actually need to buy double medium mortars in your first platoon if you could get it, and you do have the points if you cut down on some of the things we talked about. One of them is regular with a spotter, the other is not. I would run both of them potentially inexperienced, especially if you have double snipers, which you don't. Vengeance, Q470 part. Nope, 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 nope. Take another light arty instead. Way, way better. Yes, I know it's just an HE3 and a +7, but at 140 points, you're never going to earn those points back. Never, ever. And you can only shoot directly. Double airborne recce jeeps, regular. This is the way to run them. This is the way. Jeeps, I guess, for those Piats, and that's it. Now, for a 1250 platoon at 20 order dice, this actually lacks a lot of bite. I don't think that the air landing platoon is taken for its competitiveness, although it does have access to double mortar, double sniper, double anti-tank, which I think you should max out on, because that's what you get, right? So for me, I think the way to go here is to also have double arty, so that it's an HE spam platoon with all your veterans forming your front line, right? I think that would be the most competitive version of this. Right, Ashley, thank you so much. And the second one I have today is from, who was that from? It was from Alex. Right. So Alex is running 17th SS Panzergrenadiers, 12 order dice at 1,000 points. 12 order dice for me is a little low, Alex. Ideally, I would be 13 or above, just because you might struggle depending on your local meta, you might struggle against other armies that have a higher order dice count. Regular SS Lieutenant, don't do that. If you're buying an SS Lieutenant, then you're doing it to make him as cheap as possible. Buy him inexperienced. Because you also have blind obedience, which makes him easier to kill. So buy him inexperienced, cut down on the points. Waffen SS units, this is a 5-man unit, veteran 5-man unit with double Fausts. The only way you're going to get away with running these is if you mount them up in some sort of truck or heavy field car or something, and then rush them at enemy tanks with the Faust. Otherwise, I don't see the point of running these. They either need to be bigger units and have less Fausts, or yeah. hedgerow ambush is a nice one. 10 models have that. Is that the Waffen-SS sitting there in ambush with Fausts? Could that be worth it? Potentially. They're veterans. They're forward deploying. They go on ambush. Yeah. Yeah, that actually is a nice. That's a nice one, because you have double Faust. You can plunk those down right in front of enemy tanks. They might die, but hey, you've stopped the tanks for a turn or two. SS Pioneers, veterans, and then Waffen-SS with assault rifles and submachine guns and all the dirt here. Double Faust as well. These again need some sort of transport. And then light machine gun here. Light machine guns are never worth it, not even for Germans. But you do get units that can sit in your own back line. Do they need the Faust though? I don't think they do. I think you could spend those Fausts on extra bodies in one of your units. Medium mortar, regular with a spotter, Nebelwerfer, Panzerwerfer as well. Oh man. Okay. Now, if you're going to forward deploy your veterans, you might struggle, because what I would do is I would see if I could pin down your veterans and then move my units close to your veterans. Now your Nebelwerfer and your Panzerwerfer can't shoot at me. So this sort of works at cross purpose. And by the way, the Nebelwerfer does not need to be regular, because you're not suffering any ill effect for being inexperienced. So buy them inexperienced, save the points. Truck with a pintle-mounted MMG and truck with a pintle-mounted MMG. Yeah, these would be needed for some of these units here. Pioneers, maybe like the assault unit here, that could go in one of the trucks. But you do have quite a lot of people here. So, and the Waffen-SS with the light machine guns, they don't need the trucks. They're going to sit in your back lines. So I'm not sure why you have 2 trucks. You don't need 2 trucks. You got a 6-man unit here. You got a 6-man unit there. They can go in one truck. Of course, it's nice to have them in separate trucks, but you don't really need it. Interesting list here from Alex. Interesting list. I like the inclusion of the hedgerow ambush. I like that. But it does not work with the inclusion of the 2 multi-rocket launchers. That works at cross purpose. Right, we shall see. Alex and Ashley, let me know how you get on, and thank you all for tuning in today. Cheers.